Welcome to the Lesbian Romantic Podcast. This is Waking Up is Easy, Part 15. I think I have good news for you. I am taking you out of the madness and into my bubble for a while. I'm not sure how long this bubble will last, but I'd like to share some memories. These are from the days when I was alone with Usha, before we were found and our lives changed forever. Again, I already said this last time, but let me just repeat. I know it sounds crazy that we were able to enjoy peace and quiet while the rest of the country went absolutely batshit crazy. But we really did. I credit my bubble creating talent, and I want to share that talent with you now. Okay, I don't know how the producer will make this happen, but I think maybe it is a good idea for you to close your eyes and sort of get into this peaceful, cozy place with me. For a while, forget about the craziness you've heard about. Forget about the questions. Picture a cozy living room, decorated a long time ago, but preserved with care. There is the sound of a window that creaks a little when the sun is heating everything up after a chilly night, and the soft buzz of the fridge now and then. You can hear birds outside, even when all the windows are closed. In the distance, if you pay attention, you can hear a car pass by, but it doesn't happen often. Other than that, it is quiet in this apartment. It is wonderful, if you can handle it. Now that we are here together, let me I'll be the director of the movie playing in your head, okay? This is all going to sound a bit different for a while. I really want to take you into these moments. I want you to be there with us. So, sit down in the comfy chair on the right, if that is what you like to imagine. Or you can just float in the room like some omnipresent being. Or you can be a fly on the wall. Whatever you are, just take a look at Usha sitting on the floor with a brilliant smile. She's wearing comfortable sweats, a shirt with our town's logo, and no socks. I assume she got those clothes from Hope, since she is about the same size as Usha. Anyway, I am lying on the old fluffy rug, still wearing the jeans I went to work in days ago. I took a shirt from the closet in the bedroom. At this moment, I'm frowning because Usha just asked me if we might have held hands in a previous life. I'm not sure, I start to say, but Usha interrupts me. Yes, we must have met before, she adds, sounding very sure of herself. I push myself up on my elbow, feeling dizzy for just a second. I really don't think so. No, you just haven't seen it yet, Usha says with a smile. Believe me, I would remember if I had run into you before. I smile back, a little annoyed. Okay, Usha says with a knowing grin. If you think Usha is this guru-like person who appears to glide effortlessly everywhere, you should take another look. I mean, at first she seems that way and most people don't get past it, but I dare you. Look into her eyes right now. Do you see it? Do you see that confidence? Do you see the playfulness? Do you see the intensity? If not, take a look at my face, because I do see all of that in Usha's eyes, and it is making my cheeks flush like they rarely do. Tell me something about you, Usha suddenly says. About me? I don't know, I reply, thinking that this is still a therapist-client relationship. I should be careful. Plus, we should be talking about Usha. I am here to help her, not to talk about myself. Again, Usha folds her legs and sits perfectly upright. Only for a moment, though. Then she slumps over a little, as if she can't hold herself up any longer. Are you okay? I ask, worried. I really should call Maya and ask her to send a new nurse. I am fine, Usha chuckles. Just a little weaker than I used to be. I tilt my head. Do you remember something about who you used to be? Usha slowly shakes her head. No, I just assumed I used to be stronger. I've never been really strong, I say. I can tell you that about me. I smile uncomfortably because it sounded funnier in my head than it does out loud. Usha looks up at me again. I can feel her gaze running down my arms, back to my stomach, and from there down to my legs and feet. I know I look somewhat strong. I look stronger than I am, I offer. Plus, my ex is super sporty, so I do, the standards in my household are high. Are high? Usha asks without missing a beat. I nod in surrender. They used to be high, until pretty recently. Tell me about your ex, Usha says now, scratching her bare ankle. I chew on my lower lip. I want a conversation about something, Usha continues thoughtfully. Something that is important to you. Or someone. I thought you had me all figured out. I can't help but say. It comes across a little harsher than I intended it to be. I add, a little softer. The one who is asleep. Usha grins widely now. It's a delightful grin that makes you want to grin along. I did say that, didn't I? Usha sighs, amused. I nod again. Yeah. And you had a point. More grinning from Usha. Then suddenly, she stretches her legs and rests her feet not far from where my hands are on the rug. I feel like I was in a different state then. Like I had special X-ray glasses or something. But the longer I am awake, the more I feel different. Different in a good way or in a bad way? I ask as I look down at her bare foot, so close to my hand. It's a nice foot. So, your ex, why did you two break up? Usha insists, completely ignoring my question. Looking up at the ceiling, I think for a moment. I tend to run away and hide, I finally admit. First, I ran from the city and my clients there, and I was hiding with Audrey. Then I ran from Audrey, and I started hiding at the coma center. Okay, Usha says casually. Why did you run from Audrey? She always wanted some kind of change, I say without hesitation. Small changes, but change. She was always talking about growing together and exploring the world. I just thought things were fine as they were. Or maybe not as they were. Maybe I thought things could only get worse if they changed. Usha nods, her eyes fixed on the window. I follow her gaze and see white clouds drifting by at a remarkable pace. Winds of change, I blurt out. Yes, Usha chuckles. That's the name of the diner here, I clarify. I thought of it because of the clouds and the wind. Usha laughs again. You don't like change, except when you suddenly run and hide, she says pensively. Then you welcome change. I cross my ankles and shrug. I guess I want all or nothing. Usha now stares at me. I don't meet her gaze, but I can feel her eyes on me. After a minute or so, she asks, Am I your new all? Now my eyes do snap up to find hers, but I immediately look away again. I find a small wall painting of a tree by a pond to focus on. What? Are you hiding here with me now? Usha asks softly. I huff, but then stay quiet. I repeat her question in my mind. I realize Usha already knows the answer and doesn't need me to answer it. She just wants me to see. Usha does this a lot, making you see things. You don't like who you were with Audrey, Usha says. It's a statement, not a question. I shake my head. It's not because of her. I don't like who I am in general. That started long before I met her. Who are you without Audrey then? I tilt my head, taken aback by this strange question. I don't know. That's the problem. It seems we find ourselves in the same situation of not knowing who we are then, Usha says. I can hear her smile. It takes me a while, but I do smile back. I guess so. Usha sighs. I'm sorry, but I am very tired all of a sudden. You should go rest in bed, I tell her and immediately get up. I offer my hand to help her get to her feet, and she accepts it. We walk to the bedroom together in silence. Despite the physical contact while I help her get under the covers, there are no butterflies or stolen glances. I am in caregiver mode. Not long after, I am alone in the living room. Well, except for you. You, dear listener, are still with me in this artificial bubble. It was artificial then, and it is artificial now. But I want to stay here with you for a little longer. I've always mixed the past and present in this podcast. Now, let me focus on just these moments as if they are the present. Just for a few episodes. I think it is the best way to understand what it all felt like to connect deeply with Usha. Maybe you can put yourself in my shoes for a bit. Maybe you can go sit on the floor and stare up at the sky again. Maybe you can feel what it is like to lose everything and to realize you had already lost it long before you knew that you did. Because you can't hold on. Or rather, you always try too hard to hold on to everything. You go against everything in the universe again and again, thinking change could and should be avoided. At the same time, you tell families of coma patients they should not fight reality. Can you feel the conflict, the hypocrisy, the denial and delusion? Can you feel it all crumbling inside yourself while the world around you is even crazier than you ever imagined? Can you look around and realize that you have no idea who you are, who you've been? If you can, I'm sorry. I know it sucks. And I imagine you're not happy to be listening to this podcast right now. Being reminded of that feeling is not what you came here for. Now I feel like I have to share something that will make you come back for another episode. Usha ended up sleeping all evening and all night. She was exhausted. I peeked inside her room now and then to make sure she was still breathing. This time I did think of her bare legs under the covers. Back in the living room, I hardly slept at all, staring at the closed curtains as I rested on the couch. I thought of Usha. I thought of Audrey. I thought of Heather and my other clients back in the city. I even wondered what Ellie Harkin was up to. I kept my phone switched off, though. In the early morning, while I was making as much coffee as would fit in one pot. Osha surprised me by walking into the kitchen and kissing me. This was part 15 of Waking Up is Easy. I was able to produce this episode with the support of fellow romantics around the world, and I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. You know, it's not that many people who keep this podcast going, and so they're incredibly generous, and they make it possible for me to keep creating, and possible for this free feed to continue. So if you are able to pitch in now and then, even if it's just $1 or a few dollars, everything makes a difference. And you can send a one-time gift on the website, lesbianromantic.com/support, and scroll down past the theater section to the one-time gift section. Thank you so much for spending time with me. It always means the world to me. And I will see you soon back on this free feed for part 16, or on Patreon for the next episode right now, freely available if you sign up for a free membership, that is. All right, see you there or see you here.